Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and I've got a powerful report, and that is this: the left is continually breeding lie after lie after lie about the Republican Party and Trump supporters, so much so that they are igniting violence and they are igniting a civil war here in America. Want to know something? The Democratic Party, through all their leftist-leaning media outlets and other media outlets, have released who they believe is the biggest threat to America. And guess what? The biggest threat to America wasn't the Chinese or the fact that the Chinese have invaded all of our technology and have hacked things in the United States, nor is it the fact of our economy or how our economy is about to implode, nor is it the fact that Yellowstone or a natural disaster could be at the forefront, nor is it the fact that we have nuclear bombs capable of wiping out part of the globe. No, none of that made the list. The biggest threat, according to some of the media websites out there, put out by mostly Democrats, and there's others in there too, but mainly the biggest threat is Republicans. Yeah, the biggest threat, they say, to American democracy is Republicans. Anyone who opposes their views and beliefs, you, my friend, are the number one enemy. But don't take my word for it. Let me show you some news articles. The first one here is from newsstatesmanamerica.com. The Republicans, not the Russians, are the biggest threat to American democracy. Now, the report goes on to claim that the reason for that is because Republicans close polling stations in black neighborhoods. They also go on to further claim that we push laws that deny poor people opportunities and push white privilege. They also state that in conclusion, Republicans are at war with blacks and Hispanics. So if you're a Republican, in other words, you've automatically been labeled as a racist now simply for being a part of the Republican Party. One has nothing to do with the other. But now we're the biggest threat. But that's not all. Here's another one. This is on independent.co.uk. And they quote there Noam Chomsky, who says the Republican Party is the most dangerous organization in human history. Key word there, the most dangerous. Here's another from Intelligencer on published June 2018. Yes, it says normal Republican elite are a threat to democracy. How about one here on the New Republic? The Republican Party, not Trump, is the real threat to American democracy. Or Washington Post put out October 2018. Trump isn't the only threat to American democracy. It goes on to in the article to state that the Republican and right-leaning conservative judges are also a threat to the democracy. And finally, Guardian.com published October 2018, a threat to democracy, Republicans' war on minority voters. Not my words. Those are the words of very leftist-leaning sites like The Guardian and Washington Post. You, Republicans, are the biggest threat to democracy and the biggest threat to minorities. Never mind that we have millions of minorities in the Republican Party, millions of candidates, millions of people of all color, race, and creed on the Republican ticket. No, let's just look the other way on that. They're a threat to minorities. They're a threat to America. They're a threat to our democracy. They're the biggest threat. But who's the one really inciting the violence? 650 some odd violent attacks since Trump has gone into office from left people and Antifa members on Republicans, yet we're the ones attacking? How about the latest attacks? Check out this report. This one here is from GatewayPundit.com. DC Antifa publishes home addresses of Tucker Carlson and his brother, as well as Ann Coulter, Neil Patel, and Sean Hannity. What happens in conjunction with that InfoWars report? Red alert. Tucker Carlson's home under siege by an Antifa mob. Mom demands that Tucker Carlson leaves town. Here's a clip of that mob attack.
Tucker Carlson, we are outside your home to protest of fascism and racism. You promote hate that's led to
mailbox.
We know where you sleep at night. Tucker Carlson,
We know where you sleep at night. Tucker Carlson.
Such hate. They chanted there in his home, Tucker Carlson, we will fight. We know where you sleep at night. Can you imagine his family and what they're thinking with that mob out there? And then they went on to call him a racist. Where do they get that rhetoric from? Where do they get the idea that Tucker Carlson is a racist when he's never spewed a racist thing ever? Oh, from the articles I just showed you, from the articles like The Guardian and The Washington Post, which tells their people that Tucker Carlson, because he's a Republican, is a racist and hates minorities. So we have their blood bandits, Antifa members, rising to the occasion of their Democratic leftist operatives and pushing violence on Republicans. But you know, it doesn't stop with the fact that the left is painting us as racists. They are even using every crisis to make themselves look heroic, to make opportunities to pass laws that specifically target Republican views. For example, and a very unfortunate event happened. Coincidentally, right after the election on November 6th, we have a shooting in Thousand Oaks, California at a bar there, the Borderline Bar and Grill. It's a country bar. Very unfortunate event, and I'm praying for everyone who was impacted by that. But a Marine, David Long, a 28-year-old, he had lots of mental issues and mentally unstable, likely on psychotropics, but he goes in and shoots up 12 and killing 12 people at the bar and then shooting himself as well. And I can guarantee you that the Democratic Party is going to seize the opportunity to push their beliefs on the American people, using that crisis to their benefit, rather than just praying and being there for the family involved and for the people involved, for the loved ones that were shot, including the sheriff. They're going to take it, seize it, take advantage of the situation, put it in front of the American people, and then push laws against our gun rights, against the American Republicans, because we are racist, because we want guns. And we want guns, so we're violent. No, it's the Second Amendment, and we follow the Second Amendment. But I guarantee you, they're going to seize up the opportunity. And there's a lot more to that story, but for sake of time, just keeping it brief. But you know, I have to close it with something a little more lighthearted, because this is a very touchy report and lots to say. But let me close it with this. Jim Acosta, if you haven't seen this, you gotta watch it, and I'm gonna show it. But Jim Acosta, Communist News Network's reporter, who is a commie, or I'm gonna call a commie because he pushes communist socialist agenda, right? Not officially, but yes, he pushes that agenda. So a commie gets put into his place by President Trump. Take a listen to this banter.
But your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over walls and so on.
That's true. But they weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors. They didn't come from Hollywood. I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I was
enough.
going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that that you may have
I'm not concerned
indictments-
about anything with
that you
the
may have
Russian
indictments coming down.
investigation because it's a hoax.
Are you-
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible.
Thank you, President Trump, for standing your ground against a commie. And as a result, Jim Acosta got his, press pass suspended by the White House. If you're going to be a little violent there and refuse to give up the mic when you're told to give up the mic, Mr. Acosta, well, then there you have it. You've been suspended and your press pass has been suspended. Anyhow, I'd love to get your thoughts, comments, and concerns in the video below. And don't forget to check out my partner at historicsilvercoins.com. Right now, you can guys get this amazing Morgan. And this thing is the real deal, very authentic, and it comes just like you see here and also with a case. But what I love about the Morgan is you can get it for presents. If anybody is a major coin collector, it's also a barter. You can barter with it, a great item to barter. But it comes with a little booklet, and this booklet gives you a history that surrounds the Morgan coin there. But the Morgan silver dollar, and it's got a whole write-up on the 1921 Morgan silver dollar, U.S. Mint, and any coins here also have identifying letters. So it's kind of a cool little write-up that you get with it. So I encourage you, get it now for Christmas, and you can do that in the description box below. But historicsilvercoins.com, and use the code LISA to get $5 off. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.